Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you have the opportunity, you have the power, you have the medium. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything. Politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, any issue trending, any topical issue of the day. We basically on radio provoking discussion. We believe that we have what it takes to address the challenges that we have. We don't have to go to the international community. Not even for money. I believe we have even the money to do most of the basic things that we need to do. We have the money to do it. But we have to sit down and discuss this issue. As an individual in the departure lounge, and who in tongue long, I feel compelled to speak. On many occasions, as soon as you open your mouth on any issue, it is placed in a political cage. Some people believe, they listen to you and they say, well, you sung as an NNP today. And they listen to you and they say, you sung as an NDC today. And then the political attacks start on you as an individual. That, I believe, has prevented a lot of individuals in Grenada from speaking. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Today I've gotten Grenada on open bat. Right? I've gotten Grenada on open bat today.
Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, I politically, I don't say I'm politically hungry. Because politically, for me, my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner, right? That I use, God, that I live politically. And the last supplementary budget that I read last year, he get $1 million to do the Spring Garden Road. Spring Garden Farm Road. But this budget, this $2 billion budget, I don't hear Spring Garden name calling. Spring Garden name no calling. And I want to, I'm leaving a point there. I want to go straight to Grenada. When Morris Bishop called Eugenia Charles Mother Hen. Remember, Grenadian, more to lot for 5 years. And look, Deacon going to our parliament and calling mystery Pierre. And Mother Hen, what the little boy? He's a little boy sick. Grenadian, I listen. More Bishop was younger than Deacon. And they kill one another. And I'm going on again. Peter David, keep yourself quiet. Great and reject you. You destroy our revolution. You're going to end it, you hide something in the sea. You come out with briefcase and NDC fight you. World boss say I'm sorry for you. You have a contribution to make for community. Come with a contribution. You run. You're afraid, Emlyn. You're weak. You pull it up with your foot is crack. Thank you, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, pretty interesting comments. There's a lot of issues that we had to discuss. I was disappointed. Well, I mustn't say I'm disappointed in Deacon. I've been studying Deacon, all I said he was a fake. And I gave reasons and rationale why I advanced that. Deacon is imitating Morris Bishop revolutionary style speaking. Deacon wants to, it's almost like plagiarism. Because Deacon is no socialist. but he wants to benefit from some of the popularity that exists in Grenada for Maurice Bishop and the revolution. And don't underestimate it. There's a lot of people in Grenada that is oriented to the left. Most of our communists, they're gone. They're in the United States of America. But they dream perhaps of coming and lock up back people like me. Maurice Bishop jailed over 3,000 Grenadians. That is those he signed the order for. Other people jailed some, about 2,000. And he was very insulting. He described Eugenia Charles as mother hen and Tom Adams as yard fowl. And 1 week after the one in Jamaica won the election, he called him a fascist leader. I remember joking around with a few other individuals who was present when he was making this statement. We said the man just win election. How we know he's a fascist leader? That is Siaga. He called Reagan a cowboy. So the statements, the utterances from Maurice Bishop was very demeaning, fractious, and disrespectful. And he paid a price in blood. Yes, caller, welcome. You there, caller? Yeah, and he paid a price in blood. And the first thing that Deacon did was to dabble in the occult and evoke Maurice Bishop's spirit. Yes, caller, welcome. Okay, you may having some challenge. You're there, but all right. So this caller having some challenge. You just try again. And I was left spellbound. How could we saltless Christians in Grenada? Yes, caller.
Yes, Mr. good day.
Yes, my brother.
Like you guys, the second half of the program, we had some problem with the phone, but because call how much about 6 or 7 times, I didn't get you. The phone just ringing out.
Okay.
That is yesterday. Yeah, my point is, there's a fake video going on with the Prime Minister face next to it on YouTube. So I don't know if I don't know. So I never hear a distance itself from this thing. You know when if they are fake and you know this thing, that means you always say these are fake. Because first you just can't say, nah, you don't know nothing about this project, not taking place in grade or somebody are putting up that. But he faced the next week and he don't say nothing. Most people must tell him, look, there are a big fake mega project going on in there. So I surprised he's staying quiet. And I realized Joseph had to give you a price, or give you something, or give you pay you for call, not for you to get a little blind. Because you remember the price going on, he pulling Joseph with him. But remember, Joseph had to realize that he don't send Joseph alone. He must go too. So if he didn't speak, he go here alone still, and he'll leave up Joseph. But he bring Joseph in. So he continued to go on the rampage, flight after flight, and nobody concerned, nobody business every day. So I hope that one day you properly step and realize they shouldn't waste taxpayer money so now, because this money means people work hard for this money. So take him, Mr. Pierre, have a good day.
Yes, sometimes the amazing thing is that us in society, I always say, to whom much is given, much is expected. And I don't like petting the intelligentsia. They are the ones that walk around tongue as if they mean stocky cock. And they're quick to tell you they're bright. They're quick to call you stupid and dumb. Even on social media. There are a number of them that tell me you're dumb, you're stupid, who paying you, all sorts of issues. And I do my utmost not to get involved in personal attacks because it distracts from the subject matter. And they cannot defend Deacon and the actions Deacon had taken. And they cannot defend the position. Because once they was objecting at molehills. And now you have a prime minister that just on social media I see it. Not all things on social media you could bet on. That spent 8 million in 2 years traveling and entertainment. Whereas Mia Mockley, in 7 years, 1.7 million. And people are still telling you this is not outrageous, clandestine, squandering being a pathological parasite on the coffers of our country. It must be sad. And it means that if the government continue on that trajectory, this economy will be in free fall. Because you cannot see what is going on in the productive sector of the economy, particularly in light of what's going on in the world today. A trade war is developing between the United States and America. United States gives some islands in the Caribbean 60 days to address the issue with the Cuban medical personnel. And some of these Caribbean leaders, they're bad-minded too. That is the only way I could describe them. Because they're throwing up their hands in the air and looking for sympathy. Donald Trump is questioning that the medical program is used to circumvent the American blockade. That is the argument, that the program is used to circumvent, that they train the doctors to go to get foreign exchange. But the Caribbean leaders are not telling us what agreement you have with these Cuban doctors. When a Cuban doctor come here, could he come with his wife and his family? Or are they held hostage in Cuba? We must ask this question. Even some of the Cuban trained, every time I ask them, they bow in their head. They bow in their head because I pay money and go in Cuba. I never studied in Cuba. Who go give me scholarship? I can't give the old man. Who going to give old man Pierre scholarship to go in Cuba? Who is going to give this old man Pierre? So old man Pierre pay his money and go and spend 2 weeks in Cuba. So the Cuban doctors that come here in Grenada and work, the Cuban personnel, could they bring their family come? When a Grenadian go in America and spend 5 years, the grandaunt, the auntie, everybody go. Could the Cubans bring their family? Is Cuba using the program to circumvent the American blockade? Is Caribbean leaders collaborating with Cuba to circumvent the blockade? Why is it Caribbean leaders don't call? Why is it Caribbean leaders refuse to call to free the political prisoners in Cuba after 60 years? Why is it? After 60 years, why is it Cuba still have so much political prisoners? Is it this? You have to ask this question. Is the trade union in Cuba free to function? Donald Trump is right. But Donald Trump is a little obnoxious and, very awkward to deal with, and even you could describe him as hostile, something unnecessarily so. But the policy, the question they ask is pertinent. Caribbean leaders must tell us, are you helping Cuba circumvent the American blockade? What is the reason? What is the conditions the American laid on to lift the blockade? I interfere with a few people on social media and they're telling me that it's Cuba internal business. That's why slavery takes so long. They say it's not their business. When they had the slave trade, some people say it's not their business. That is the Caribbean internal affairs. When apartheid was going on in South Africa, some countries say that is South Africa internal affairs. It's not a business. When Maurice Bishop jailed Dr. Japal, Kenny Lal Singh, Henry Budlal, Leslie, and all the others, our people in the diaspora say they're not their business. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, give me 2 minutes there.
Yes, man, go right ahead.
You know the reason why I called Deacon terrorists?
Well, I fully agree with you.
Yeah, because I listen one time you call on me to call back. Because I stole the man, Mr. Pierre. Because during the campaign, I heard a man said he called the World Bank that them put people, the elders, disadvantage, And then political people should be getting 600. But as the man take power, the man take out 150, you know. And then what the man take 2,000 for himself, you know. I say the man people terrorists. The young man that poor people terrorists. You understand? From here, I live in Spring Garden, right? And I run a help a woman run a property like this. But you know, I win that because she didn't like when nobody want to teach her. I'll get her in NMP house. Cause we listen thing going on now and I run out the shop and I said, yeah, run the shop. And she's the NDC, you know. Well, I have an NMP, but I support policies. I support policy. I support no man, no woman, I support policy. You understand? And I was so sick in Parliament, they can call him Francis Pierre more than him. I can't get over it. And Grenadian, the media, the lawyers, the, the unions, and as a political and political, you pull and deal with a little boy. Hey, what going to a country? Grenadian, I don't mad now, you know, I look at a little boy in power. Remember, Morris was younger than they can take when he take power, right? And they can try to go and double the court. Eh? Oh my God. Mr. Pierre, thank you.
Yes, age has nothing to do with respect. Dickney is arrogant and disrespectful, but that's why he believes some Grenadians is classless. So he must put Emmeline Pierre, where she from Burge Grove and living in Telescope, he must consider these communities as classless. They're not Fort Judy and Tempe and other places in Grenada. There are some places in Grenada that falls in the lower income group, and Dickney is promoting classism. So he must be believed that Emmeline Pierre come from an area, and the area where she come from, they are commoners. They are not. You don't see them as equal, and that's the challenge we have in Grenada. Imagine what he thinks about you. Imagine what he thinks about you. And you speak about the $150 from the elderly, the physically challenged, and 75 to $100 from disadvantaged children. But what about the 100 house unit in Carriacou? I don't know how indecent people could support that crime. I consider it as a political crime. The 100 house unit targeted the people in the lower income group. The keys were given, I think, to 80 and 90 households. They received the keys for the house. Somewhere along, I believe the Minister of Housing then, the Honorable Delmontans, said that 10 of the houses or some percentage would be kept back for emergencies, somebody, a battered woman, fire victim, etc. But I said 10 is a lot. They should keep back only 5. They take back the keys from the people. You imagine the psychological and traumatic impact on these individuals? They got the keys in their hand. They make all kind of plan. The electricity company had to come and put the electricity and the water. Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes,
You
scholar.
say
Yeah.
NMP only house for a year and give people. You have it going on 3 years now, nobody get it. Grenadian and listen, Grenadian and listen, Grenadian. You say NMP holy houses for 1 year, give nobody. Right? Yeah, if We're on 3 years now. What is it? I was in Carriacou in a hurricane. We all live and tell them, let's go and break our room up. They say, no, I could do that. The hostel. I say, hostel? They're going to break the house and go and stay inside there. Stop here. I didn't hear you attacking. The hurricane take me in Carriacou. I went to go and collect my granddaughter. Go and spend money in Grenada. You can take me up there. And I battle Emily up there. Really, actually, I don't find it women. I like women. I like the woman, like the press. Because it create me. So I defend women of me. Thank you, Mr.
Yes, this one is a hard one. It means that there is a lot of Grenadians that want to see people suffer. There's a lot of Grenadians that believe they're better than other people. It brought me to the period back in the 70s when Eric Gary fought a battle to raise the dignity, the pride, the dreams, and aspirations of the people who they used to call illiterates and stinking Garyites and cadavers. And 50 years after, I don't know if the 2,000 houses China promised to build, they build it. But if they don't finish building, that's the end of the story. They can take the houses back. And there's so much people in Grenada that supports that. You all preaching hate. You all preaching division against people. You all denying people. You all kicking on the vulnerable. That's why I always say when people ask me what Deacon does so far, I say he do a lot. But for some people in Grenada, a few people, the majority of people in Grenada, Deacon don't care about them. And the NDC members don't care about them. And when this thing is just like milk on fire, because over a period of time, people is going to rebel. When you have a government policy that is fractious, and the government, you could feel the tangible negative consequences of the government, it will boil over. It's only a matter of time. I don't know how there's so much people in Grenada that used to claim about accountability and transparency and good governance. And a number of people hailing Deacon, but when you ask them these questions, they attack you personally. They're hoping they could intimidate you enough so you could shut your mouth. But you have to understand, in every system, there are people who you can shut them up. Uriah Buzz Butler went to prison, spent about 7 to 8 years in prison. Mandela spent 20-something. And Mandela had a choice. He could have agreed with the system and be a nice, smart lawyer. So he had a choice. So Deacon have to be stupid twice to believe that everybody would stay silent. No. You wouldn't find that. And that's why I always speak about the young men in the community. Because while all these things are going on, while Donald Trump, and I hear some of these political leaders and even some of the ministers in Grenada join talking this bag of nonsense about take the visa. Every minute they want to travel, they're taking the visa. What happened if Donald Trump put 25% tariff on all transaction between Grenada and America? Answer this question. What happened if Donald Trump decided he put in 20, he liked the word 25, and you can't hit back like Canada. Canada could hit back. You can't hit back like Europe. That he put in 25% tariff, tax on all transaction between Grenada. So remuneration, 25%. When they send $100, give 25% going to America. What's about soursop and fish? Grenada export sauce up and fish to the United States of America. That brings in over 30 million to the agriculture economy. What happened when that run ago? What happened with tourism? When Donald Trump put 25% taxes on all transaction between United States of America, you all will be just scratching around. Instead of negotiating with Donald Trump, you sit down beating your chest like Maurice Bishop. Both me and Motley lead this stupidness. You all are Grenada, beating your chest. Me and Motley don't have much Cuban medical students in our system. So what she doing? She playing politics. St. Vincent have, Grenada have, Jamaica have, other countries have. And I ask the question again, because you are not answering on social media and you're not answering here. But I want to encourage people to be enlightened. Ask the question, is the Cuban Medical Assistance Program, which we highly appreciate in Grenada and we love, is it used to circumvent the American blockade against Cuba? Is it used to circumvent? If you go in Cuba and you spend $1, I think they charge 20 or 25% on it. So American dollar in Cuba, once you go through the system, it costs you $20. They will take out 25% out of it, either 20 or 25 cents. So you will have $75. Cuba have two currency, the internationale and the peso. And Cubans can say making joke and interfere with the internationale. They say you're in jail. Even the ice cream shop. You have ice cream shop where you could only spend internationally. You can't go in it and spend peso. So the locals cannot go in it. In the hotels. And Cuba is building a lot of hotels, because Cuba want tourists. So the internationally, they put 25% in it. When you go to Cuba, they don't stamp your passport, They don't want the Americans to know if you come in Cuba. So you could go in Miami, enter Cuba, and Cuba not stamping the passport. So the Americans would not watch your passport and able to determine whether you come in Cuba. All these things are done to circumvent the blockade. And those Grenadians that trade in Cuba, you think they're going back in Cuba on holidays? No! They ain't going to Cuba on holidays, they're going to America. A bunch of hypocrites, You see, Marxist-Leninism cannot be sold. So they always have to take a ride on the back of a cars. When you ask all the Marxist-Leninists, the socialists, what is the justification? What is the rationale? What is the cause? They can't sell it. So they have to take a ride on the back of a popular issue. So a guy doesn't tell you he's Marxist-Leninist. And if you're a Marxist-Leninist, you're an atheist. You don't believe in God. You don't have to believe me. Ask them. Watch them good. Even if you see they're going to church, that don't mean they believe in God, They go into church because they want a ride on the back of the Christian community. They want a ride on the back of the Christian community. It's not easy to sell Marxist-Leninism in any country. It's not easy. It's not attractive. It's not easy to sell. Donald Trump is a little too arrogant. If he a little bit more tactful, he could achieve his goal, but it take longer. Right? But, he says, he promised that, and perhaps we in Grenada must be prepared to discuss the issue. Ask those ministers, all of them hiding from discussion. Anytime you see a politician hiding from local discussion, not a good politician. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, nobody ain't batting but Gordon Green is batting now.
No, man, when you Batman.
Gordon Green is batting. Mr. Pierre, I'm gonna make I tell Massacre One and the program, I say what here? That CBI program they basing on. That will done. Donald Trump create now a gold card, you know. You tell me see that?
Yeah.
Mr. See that? Donald Trump create a gold card. Most of the CBI men are coming greater. They want American visa. For the children going to America, happy America. But America could create now a gold card. So CBI done. We can. Cornwall, CBI done, boy. No money for all you. Thank you, Mr. Pierre.
Well, some of them were not able to buy the gold card. So they still have to use, the poorer ones will have to use it. But if you're able to buy the American gold card, you pay $5 million for it and you come inside. But the Caribbean have to be very careful how they negotiate. They're supposed to try to negotiate with Donald Trump. Don't beat your chest and play no down. Because look at what happened with Canada and Europe. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good day, sir.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Well, I try to bat at least one down, but I get left. I get left this morning.
You're still in the middle of the game.
Good.
And it's a
Mr.
good
Pierre,
time.
I want Grenadians to understand that our PM divide the country, and some people don't face in the fact. We have a PM who is not for the whole of Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidimatick. He draw the line. Grenadians, remember that. He have no love for Grenada.
Why you say
he
draw
no
the line? Why you say he draw the line? Give me some pointers, one or two.
One, he said, who should get the jobs? And he will remind his people. But his people take it very serious. Because some of them is definitely finding out the background of certain people who might ask for a little work. They want to know what that person is. So the leader set the tone. Yeah, they're getting very arrogant with the other people who they feel, who they perceive is not for them. When they cannot answer questions, they get in on and they're attacking you personally. So we have a serious problem. They come with I want to thank Sheldon, Scott, and others who keep in the program with parliamentarians to educate us. Also, Red FM. Because a lot of us don't know that the budget is illegal. Because they come with a lot of fancy figures, fancy talk, and I was told it is illegal. I don't know if Mr. Pierre have that idea. Grenadians, we need a leader who respects you. We need a leader who has love for you. And you will find it in no other party but the new National Party. I will be advocating to you right through, as long as I get the opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, you made a point that I doesn't like to leave when people make this strong point that Deacon is dividing the country. And when you say that, I ask why you say that. And you add some reasons. So I want to expand on it. When Deacon introduced restorative justice, it was a means of political victimization and revenge. And that is division. Deacon is promoting classism. Since he considers people as classless and beggy and commoners, and the other fractious language that is being used, Deacon is promoting classism. The Deacon and them stated to identify workers who attend NNP activities. In addition to that, they fired workers by July 5th. They won election, I think, on the 22nd of June, 22, 23, 22nd, 23rd. And by the 5th of June, they had letters out firing low-rank workers that were green. They asked to identify workers who attend NNP activities. And not several senior workers, teachers, public officers, and others, was bearded with yellow, parading all about, hugging up Deacon with yellow clothes. But he went and fired low-rank workers. The Ministry of Labor were not able to get the rogue permanent secretary in Carrico to sit in a meeting. At that time, the unions was behaving very tame too. When the matter was reached to Deacon, Deacon advised them to go and take lawyers. Those actions are definitely divisive. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
I have some golden apples here, but I cannot reach it because it's so high. So I give the parents, I could send one of them grand lecture and them to see if it will help me to get this golden apple on them.
But that is an important thing, particularly in light of the budget, Mr. Andrew.
He promised us he's going to use golden lecture to assist us. So yeah. I still waiting that. I mean, a man was supposed to be his bond.
And the assistance would be timely.
And I need the assistance now. So we should be able to get to my assistance now.
Well, we may have to make a next call to Mr. Lennox Andrew. He was jumping up in Parliament and saying things, and we have already tested it, and some of the things he's saying was not true. So, on the idea of the green leg truck, it would be nice if Deacon could tell us if we could call the Ministry of Agriculture now to get a green leg truck to pick some golden apple and coconut. Mango do full in season yet. Yes, caller. Thank you. Yes, that is an important thing. The Prime Minister made some outrageous and impossible promises. But we wait and see how economical, a big man like that, how economical it is for a company to lend you the truck, to go and pick golden apple and mango. And then if the Trump have a jumping gear to jump drain, to go in that kind of terrain. The Prime Minister also promised a net for seaweed. And we still await such. You know? And these issues, I believe, is worthy for discussion. And the NDC heavyweights, the time has come for you all to stop attack people personally. That makes no sense. The Prime Minister again was challenging social media badging. Well, I think I'm not a badger in social media. I don't think it's bothering me. What I have to say don't have all this weight. Jenny Simon program seems to be the one they're fighting to shut down. So he challenged. And I don't know if anybody will be so crazy to watch a Prime Minister heavily guarded by bodyguards and asking any question. Particularly a vindictive Prime Minister. Yeah. But we have to continue the discussion. It's very important to do it and to respect one another. And that's where the challenge comes around. Because the present NDC is the most disrespectful group that ever passed in the country. I've never met a group of politicians more disrespectful than this present group we have. Never met them, not in Grenada history. In addition to the amount of blatant lies they are prepared to tell, The Minister of Agriculture was jumping up in Parliament and claiming how much $1 million was paid out to farmers. And any farmer that don't get money, go and find out in agriculture. Agriculture claim they have no directive from the minister. They say mouth open, word jump out. No directive. So the minister used his immunity in Parliament to blatantly tell lies to farmers. You have a program after Ivan, you don't have to politically, whap the program like that. Those individuals, including me, that you believe asking too much question, you refuse to give the money to. And then you go in Parliament and lie and say, go back to agriculture. And I immediately test it. I didn't expect money. I didn't expect no money. But I say, I'm not going to let you get away with that statement you make in Parliament there. So I was in front of the agriculture door. Very, very respectful, Very, very respectful. I could feel the hostility. But I brace it and show grace, humility, and total respect. Only to be informed. That is not a fact. That is not true. But if we get information, we will call you. When you victimize individuals so blatantly, I don't know how individuals that want to continue conversing could support you on that. Yes, caller, welcome.
I am the voice of one crying out in the wilderness. Good day, Senior.
Yes, my brother.
Senior, we are experiencing presently right now within Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimatnik what you call the dry spell. And we feel in the heat of the sun in Grenada, much less for the people in Carriacou and Pitimatnik. Presently right now, Senior, on the island of Carriacou, there is a crisis. And the crisis that presently right now the Carriacou people are facing is lack of water. It's a serious, serious problem for the people of Carriacou and Pitimatnik now as it relates to water. Because as we know that after the passage of Hurricane Beryl, 80 and 90% of the population of houses in Carriacou had lost the roof. And it's only a fraction of one or two roofs that get back, and that is people basically that can be able to afford to put back the roof, and one or two poor people in between. I live in Carriacou. I have my property in Carriacou, so I could tell you. There is a company called Dung Island Company, it's a real estate, where lots of people was able to get water because most of these houses was built by expatriates, dozens and dozens of houses. And once in a while, these people will come to spend some time in the house. And most of these houses have 2 and 3 cisterns. As it is presently right now, I'm asking the authority to get ready to boot water into Carriacou. The situation there is crucial. My wife just a couple of days returned from Carriacou. And the situation in Carriacou as it relates to water is crucial. And I can remember under the NNP administration, I remember a period of time they brought in water in Carriacou and Pitimatnik. I'm begging this administration, before it gets worse, please get a tanker. You all have money. Get a tanker and try to get water for the people in Carriacou. And what is so sad, the Samaritan Post was here. And they had 3 beautiful desalination plants. They set it up in Hillsborough. And you get water you never believe is from the sea. When they finish, they go down to Harveyville, they set it up. And before the Samaritan post left here, they offered the desalination plant to the authority, to the people of Carriacou. Mr. Tevin Andrew never received it. They begged him to take it. He didn't take it, sir. They went to St. Vincent and Rob Gonzalez have the desalination plant up there. I'm begging this administration, before it get worse, make preparation to get water to the people on the island of Carriacou and Pitimatnik. Thank you very much, Senior.
Yes, scholar, thank you very much. I don't know. I don't have this information on this salination plant. I try to stay on some of the major issues and not bother too much with the micro issues that would affect people here and there. But I think sometimes people have to understand the history of political parties. The NDC history in Grenada has never been a good one. Where agriculture is concerned, agriculture always suffered under NDC government. They have not contributed well to agriculture. And when they panic, they spend money like rain. I think they borrowed about 20 million or more. Want to be conservative. When they cut down Belvedere nutmeg, everybody against them, they still do it. And you know they dig up around the lake to plant banana for Salisbury. And the NDC came in and in a very revengeful manner, they create marketing board. And immediately they continue to fire the workers that was involved in the cotton scale insect management. I can't understand it. It was about 10 or 12 workers. After relentless questioning on radio, they employ back about 3 of them. So while the cotton scale insect disease is spreading, they have 3 workers on it. The government has refused to meet the source of exporters, and not much of them, you know. And a few of them was buried in yellow prior to election. They have not had a meeting with them to discuss some of the issues at hand. And they offer Green Lake truck to pick mango. And it was encouraging people to plant black pepper. Because you go turn black and white just now. So there is not much hope in the NDC. What we have to pray that the economy don't go in free fall. And you're speaking about a government that came in and cried out for the first time in history in the Caribbean. A government come out and cry out and say they meet plenty money in the church. So money is not an issue. NDC have money. They have money. And in addition to that, they want to borrow over 800 million. They have always squandered the country resources, then go in the lab and tell lies. You see them on social media blatantly lying. That is the political party that we have. There is not much hope for them. We advise them to minimize the consequences of the bad policy, hoping that they will take an advice or two. That is the government we have. It's sad and it's unfortunate, but that is the government we have. The government told lies to every sector of the society, even scholar and all. Even scholar and all was deceived. They tell him 50, and then they give him 15. And when he says 50, they tell him, they say, no, it's 15, we see. Even scholar, the great Dr. Scholar was deceived. Who is me? And who is you? They could deceive Dr. Scholar. And I know easy man, big educator. He appears to be a strong supporter of NDC. They still deceive him. The children of Haiti wasn't spared, you know. So that is the government we have. We speak because we want them to change. Now I notice these ministers beating the chest with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not a man to joke with. If you beat your chest with him, he say he had 25%, and if you get him vexed, he say he had him 50%. You don't joke with Donald Trump. You have to lack tact, the arrogant, the rude, full of pride and ill discipline. And the prime minister is functioning, and his other ministers are enjoying the raid on the treasury. The only way I could call it is a raid on the national coffers, financial coffers. No respect for fiscal rules. No respect. They flaunt the laws with impunity, and they raid in the financial institutions. And we have a challenge. And when you're trying to engage some of the NDC's hotshot, they're attacking you personally and they're hiding. I don't know. This last 2 years, one would hope that they have a rude awakening on the road of Damascus and they change some of the attitudes. They have attacked the Imani program mercilessly. The best program that has been instituted in Grenada in the last 100 years. And I dare them, you know. When I speak, I dare and I challenge. And I dare them, if the Imani is not the best program, tell me which one is. They want to capitalize on the weakness of a program. All programs have weakness. And they want to take advantage on the people there. Because most of the people, well, obviously the people in Imani is poor people children. Because the rich man child don't want to work. When the rich man child comes to school, he ain't do nothing. He give him a big post in the company, and he buy a car girl. You boy can ask a girl, you just get a girl. That's when you have money, you do that. When you're poor, you need a second chance. The government deceive everything. Even the Rasta didn't trick the Rasta again. Yes, scholar. And scholar is the last scholar.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar.
I would like for you to get a girl, give me, please. But that's not the real thing I give you. What I'm saying is that, towards Carriacou, I find so many people on the mainland just cry out for the good of Carriacou, to help Carriacou. This is going good and that is going good in Carriacou. And what I'm saying is that you have a radio station in Carriacou with so many people from Carriacou calling on the radio station. And the majority of people are calling, what I hear is saying, all the thing is against NNP. Against NNP. NNP people lie, they this, they that. All them people are saying is lie, NNP. So I don't know. For so many people signed up for our Carriacou people, and the majority of people in Carriacou, they say like everything is good for them, everything is well for them. So that's the problem as you are going on.
Well, the radio station in Carriacou is not the same radio station the government helped to get back on target very quickly, you know. And generally, the radio station in Carriacou seems to be the mouthpiece of Tevin and Johnny Party.
And what I really showing the majority of people are calling the radio station from Carriacou. They always think chanting against the NNP government.
There's a few people that call in the radio station regularly, but you have a lot of people from Carriacou call this radio station down there.
And what they're saying, what I'm telling you, they're saying, like everything is well up there. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, everything is well with NDC, but who? You see, NDC represent a small inch, about 3,000 NDC have it. The real NDC is a small number, you know. They tell plenty lies, they give impression, and others follow. But the real NDC is a small number. And as we come to the end of the program, we have to always remember to thank our people participating, whether you call or you listen or you subscribe to a program and share a program. We want to, we highly appreciate you. We provoke discussion. When you hear something here, we try to speak the truth. We dare you to take us on, and we want you to hold discussion on it. There's a number of issues taking place in the world, and it could affect us here in Grenada. Now is not the time for us to have a country that promoting classism and fractures and inciting violence. So you, moderate NDC, speak to Deacon and Tevin Andrew and Ron. Tevin Andrew and Ron in particular, because they're younger. And I don't think when they leave office, whether it's in the next 5, 10, or 15 years, they'll have enough money like Deacon. So there you and the public will see you more. Deacon go back in the office and nobody see him again. Or he gone by his sugar daddy. But you may not be that fortunate. So I always implore you to think. The people you're taking advantage of, no. The people that are losing their jobs, remember they are children. Remember they will be affected. You will be interacting with them on a daily basis. And you could challenge us, If we say something here that is not the truth, take us on. Because we want to encourage other radio personalities to speak with the truth. And don't attack people personally. Let's deal with the subject matter. Yes. Thank you very much. We're back with you again on Monday between 12 and 1. Thank you.
In the Caribbean, there's an island, found and set aside by nature's plan. It's so beautiful to see, really? Spice Island of the West, lovely. And in the West Indies, I say Grenada, please. Overwhelmingly glad we are to be of our country. Foreigners have recommended it highly. Hand in hand for a better land of people who can understand us business brighter out of darkness.